laser cutter, I'm just going to fast forward here, show what Bill's talking about. There it is, the laser cutter.
Isn't that cool?
So I guess in the old days, Bill,
Yeah.
if they want to do it, it would be the student printers cutting out all of those. Just trying to go back here. So there's the.
There's the skeleton doily. And the language is Emily Dickinson. How ruthless are the gentle?
What we'll see in some of the other prints as well. Roll the string that is
Yeah.
threaded through.
Yeah.
Up there.
Well, first of all, they're lightly glued down. So I wanted to feel the precariousness and the delicacy that it was like a doily. So that was the pain in the butt stuff that they had to glue. You hold the head and put a little glue and then you press it down. I tend to always put threads in the work. I'm going to try to compress this story a lot. I was in Nepal, and there was a ribbon of metal steel over the doorway of a monastery, and I said, well, what is that for, sir? And he said, well, madam, that is the tongue of God. You stand underneath it, and your words and thoughts go up the ribbon, up into the sky, into the ear of God. That's really nice. So ever after, in my own humble, puny way, I thought it would be nice to have some kind of thread that brings you in from the outside world to the inside of the piece. So it's either stitched and threaded in there. It's become kind of a routine, but that's where it started.
I have a funny story about threading things. The first time Lesley was there, my senior printer that year was from Yugoslavia, former Yugoslavia. He was Serbian, and his name was Nebojša. So we did a lot of stitching on some of Lesley's prints the first time she was there. So when I got time to edition and to do the actual edition, I said, come on, Nebojša, you gotta give me a hand here. He goes, sewing? He goes, it's woman's work. No, Nebojša, you're gonna help me sew these. Come on, you can do it.
Oh, and here is the jubilation print, the collector's print. So the trick was, so I wanted again the skeleton to look collaged, but it is.
This one is cool.
This is collaged.
Yeah.
But it's also printed on. So it's printed on with little lines of gray and ochre.
And then we took it to the architecture department and then laser cut it out.
So it's printed on and cut out. So it's got this density of intention to it. And then the leaves, the challenge, or in my mind, it probably wasn't a challenge in Bill's mind, but I wanted the leaves to be really, really black because I had initially made them also as collage elements, so there'd be a really big distance between the black leaf and the gold. So the gold would look like atmosphere. So.
And I've never printed on this gold paper that was handmade in New York, and it was when it's dried, they dry it on a piece of glass, I believe,
Yeah.
or a metal, like aluminum or something. So when it's dried and it gets peeled off, it's super slick. I mean, it's like glass, and it's got a beautiful finish to it. And it's not flat. It has just a lovely like patina to it. And just the sheet itself is like, wow. When you work with handmade paper, it's like every sheet is a little bit different, and they're just spectacular. Anyway, this guy did a great job, but I was a little concerned about how the ink was going to sit on top of that paper, because every paper ink sits into it differently. It either sits on top or it soaks into the paper, and so he sent me some sheets before we even started the project, just some sample sheets. And I printed some stuff on it just to see how it would work, how the ink would sit on top of the paper.
Do you ever make your own paper?
We don't at Tamarind, no, we don't have the facilities. You have to have a lot of space to make paper. So we contracted that out to, like I said, the shop in New York.
But you're right, the paper is the first thing. And usually when an artist comes, Bill has samples of many different kinds of paper. And he'll go, oh, I thought this might be a good paper. That beautiful paper.
That old, not
That old, yeah, oh, that was so gorgeous. So, you get so that you can talk about paper like it's an old friend and what it will work like. So the paper is the first thing.
So anyway, I'm just proofing the jubilation print. I'm printing the leaves. That was the first thing that was printed on the paper.
So you weren't proofing with the fine paper, correct? In this.
No, I think I'm just pulling it like on a newsprint just to kind of get the plate going. You first print on a couple sheets of newsprint before you put it on good paper.
When we were talking earlier, you guys were, or Leslie was mentioning about the black on this piece. That was a challenge, or you wanted to get a specific shade in mind, or?
Just as dense as possible. And we knew it would be tricky, so we weren't sure. But it succeeded.
Maybe that's what you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm like,
I think you gave the leaves back to me many times to keep coloring in.
oh right.
I think I remember that.
Because it's not just a flat
Yeah.
color. You like drew it like just really strong.
Yeah, different. Yeah, more.
Right. There was a little bit of drawing texture to it that you really can't see from the slide. So that's what I'm kind of checking out, whether it's how it's made.
Oh yeah, so then Bill, I know. Yeah, I have to say also, it's such an honor to be invited to print with Helen because I always hope that Bill will forgive me because you heard that they made 90 of these prints. So of course, each of those letters are not completely glued down, they're just perfectly glued down, so they have like a little lip. So that meant
So how many letters in the word jubilation?
jubilation?
Right.
One. I can't do that. Can anybody else do that? So that times probably 100
Yeah.
is what you said you got into it, right?
Yeah, it was kind of nice. It was almost kind of like a quilting bee. Me and my Peter were just cutting each one out and gluing it on the sheet.
As well as all the skeletons, too, right?
Yeah, and the skeletal. Yeah.
You're doing that for each print?
Yeah.
That's why it's special to work with you. This man.
And, it looks so random how those letters were cut. And they, Leslie cut them out like dip, dip, dip. And it's like, now match that. So I'm like, how am I going to like, so what I did was, I drew a little dotted line around each letter to show where I had to cut. So I printed that on the piece of paper with the letter. And so then, I wouldn't have to put a template over each one and cut it. I knew the line was there and I just cut inside the line. And it was the way it was supposed to be.
So how did you figure out on each one, did you have some kind of template?
Oh, we did as far as
Some
where,
of the same
yeah,
position?
yeah. We just
What
cut,
kind of template?
well, it was just a piece of Mylar
Okay.
that we just cut out where those letters were and we put that over the print and then put each letter on each
Okay.
space.
They do a fabulous job.
See,
I don't know what to do.
all the tools, I mean, I think there's the cutout letters, there's the skeletons.
Okay.
Uh,
We're having your photo taken.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Back to the laser cutter here.
Oh, and then getting all the little skeletons. Like a shirt.
And this was the first time you actually worked with a laser cutter, right? Or
Yeah.
anything, so this was sort of
You're a miracle.
moving up in the technology for
Yes.
Taryn.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, so that's the,
So Leslie was doing the lettering for the doily print, and so she was just letting me know that she had finished drawing the letters for it. It was good to go, good for me to shoot it onto a plate.
But good on my end, because
Right.
you never, it's good on my end, but these are good on his end. So that's why I've only been happy with it. So this was the end of end of that print, and we're almost at the end of our talk, actually. I think we are at the end of the talk with 2 more images. So in the print world, in the academic print world, right, and this is not usual with commercial presses, I don't think, but in the print world, it's very common to have you and your friends or you and your students do gift prints, because printmaking, after all, is the democratization of art. You're making something that is affordable, although you can see the incredible amount of work that goes into it. I actually think many artists do their best work in collaboration with printmakers. I think they do absolutely, because of the collaboration process brings you up to the most finest tune of your mind, because of being there isolated and being there with the person that you're working with. So we thought, let's do, I took Marge out to lunch. I said, Marge, could we do a gift print? Would Tamron be open to doing a print that we could just give away? Because everyone had been so generous at Tamron, like even this wonderful new higher administration and the curator, because somebody left. No, I'm still there. So she was like, I can help. And we're like, little red beans shown on ours. Oh, really? You'd like to help? Oh, come, sit here. Cut skeletons. So the whole place was working with us and working together. So we wanted to give everybody something, and so which actually was a lot of work on Bill's part. So we did 4 different colors, and they're small. They're much smaller than that. They're this size. And we did four colors. We did
red, green, blue, and yellow.
And yellow. And then we divided them up. And every artwork has one. And Marge, I told her she could be free to just give away, not sell. I said, you can't sell them, but you have to just give them away. So, I don't know. I thought that was nice. It was very nice of her to do that, to embrace the generosity of that, because she's in a business after all. So it was really, really terrific nod to the generosity on all parts that goes into printmaking. And then here's how we'll wrap up for this.
Still like each other?
Oh, yeah, we still like each other. Yeah, no,
This is really what we felt like.
Yeah.